Okay, Unit 2. I think it'll be actually pretty easy and not too complicated to explain. Again, this unit starts off with some basic sentences you guys can read to learn some new words. I think these are really great to learn, the numbers. And, hulet, sost, arat, amist, siddis, sabat, simit, zetain, asid. Counting 1 to 10 is pretty helpful for the language. And then, of course, there are other words here, like if you want to learn the word for station, tabia, Babert train, and then maybe build off some phrases you can ask like Babert ebia yetno, like where's the railroad station. The first grammatical note for 2.1 is talking about these masculine definite suffixes. So basically all these mean, it's a way of saying his, and then whatever the noun is, or the, whatever the noun is. In Amharic, conjugations for he or him and conjugations for objects are often shared in Amharic, so I think that's easier to explain with examples. So these are the 3 examples they give us. Dena hotel yet alle hotelu, which is using this u here, which is attached to hotel, which is a noun. Izia no, babor tabia, which is adding a w to this noun, which ends in a vowel, yet no. So the book kind of starts to explain that in 2 and 3, they've added a U and a W to certain words, and that's the difference between sentences 2 and 3 and sentence 1. When you add a U after consonants and a W after vowels, it makes it this masculine noun system, which basically means the, in this case it'd be hotel, or the railroad station. What's interesting is that it can also mean his hotel or his railroad station. The and his share the same conjugational system. And the way you know which one it is based on context. Like, if you're talking about a general train station, you're probably talking about the train station, not his train station, like one that a single person owns. These suffixes can also be added to modifiers, which are just adjectives, which I tried to show here, and I'll come back to that in a little bit. It is generally used when the speaker refers to things or persons that have been mentioned before, or to things or persons that are in his presence. I don't know what that means, to be honest with you. It is not necessarily used in the same way as English. Actually, for me, it's mostly worked exactly the same as how it does in English, so I can't tell the difference. The suffix makes it pointing out or more explicit. That is true. When you say like the car, it's different from saying a car. And it's apparently not used with plural nouns very often. Going to unit 4.4 now. Again, the same definite suffix modifier is being talked about in 2.1. In these examples, you'll have like de now, so tinish masaf allo. So denna is good. Den now is sort of being used to talk about this person, this guy, and it's saying like the good man, right? He has a tinish is small, masaf allo is like he has a small book. Masaf is book, allo we'll actually learn about sometime soon, I think. You can say denna, so tinish masaf allo, and that'll be like a good man has a small book. But saying denawa, like with this W at the end, you're using this definite suffix and you're adding it to the modifier. You're adding it to good, which is modifying so, which is man, to describe him. And you're not adding it directly to man itself, if that makes sense. Like coming back to 2.1, these suffixes are added directly onto the noun and it's not added to a modifier. Like here, de na hotel, if you wanted to say something about the good hotel, then you'd have to add the modifier to de na, which is the modifier which is describing hotel. Continuing on. So then they bring up inna, which they explain it as a suffix, but to me, I usually just think of it as a separate word. So when you put inna, I guess in their words, after a consonant, and then like inna after vowels, it means and. So hotel is, a word by itself. Adding inna means a hotel and then babur is railroad station, which they tell us up here. They're talking about a hotel and railroad station. Izi is a word for here, and na is again and. Izia is there. Izi and na, izza here and there. And then even the textbook says like and now may be used as a separate word. Because to me, I always thought of it as a separate word, but I don't make the rule. 2.3 is also not too bad, I think. So it teaches us about the word no and the word alle. So no means is, and Amharic, again, if you remember like the old channel introduction, I talked about Amharic being a language that's subject, object, verb, and is, or like being something is a verb. So they always come at this no word is going to come at the end of a sentence. Same with alle, like something being present somewhere is a verb, so it's going to end up at the end of a sentence. So American embassy, yet means where, and then no is. So where is the American embassy. Babur Tabiao, so you see this W being attached to tabia, which is making it a definite suffix modifier. So it's saying like the railroad station. Kazi is from here, which they'll talk about later. Ruk is far. And then no is with this up arrow is meant to sort of show a upward pitch intonation, which is when you ask a question. If you're asking a question, you may ask it like, really? Where you put like this upwards intonation to sort of clarify that you're asking it as a question. Dena is good. Hotel is hotel. Yet again is where. Alle is where is there. So like there is, like where is there a good hotel? Where is a good hotel? Using no and inna, that's how people in Amharic do math. When you say hulet, which is two, inna hulet, which means two and two in English, but it translates to 2 plus 2. Arat is 4, and no is like it is. I think this translation is pretty good. 2 and 2 is 4. If you want to say something is not, use the word adelam. Hotelu, so again, this is supposed to be the hotel. When you add a U onto it, coming back to here, you add a U onto the end of words, you get the hotel rather than a hotel. Hotelu turu adelem. Turu is supposed to be good. It's basically means the same thing as dena. So this is saying the hotel, good, it is not in terms of an English translation directly, but the meaning is the hotel is not good. Alle again means that there is something or that it exists. The negative version of it is yellam, there is not. So and dena hotel, and is one, but it can also mean sort of like a thing, if that makes sense. So this is asking about dena is good, hotel, Z is here, and then alle. So it's saying like here there is a good hotel. That's the meaning it's trying to get across. The direct translation would be a good hotel here there is. Same thing here is Z dena hotel yellam. Yellam means there is not. So here good hotel there is not. Amharic and English are kind of similar where you can change the order of a lot of words and the meaning will be basically the same. And dena hotel is Z yellam. A good hotel is not here. That'd be the exact same as this sentence. You just swap out alle for yellam. Or you can say it like this, Z dena hotel alle. Like if you wanted to say there is a good hotel here, you could just replace this word. Or you could change the order. You can put izi before dena hotel. You can put dena hotel before izi. So there's some flexibility within the language. And the last thing to note is that the word yellam can also mean no. Over here on this side is meant to be all the stuff I just talked about, maybe somewhat simplified, easier to read as opposed to all this. The pronunciation drill here is a great place to get a lot of new words. And then there are substitution drills that you can practice, which I highly recommend, where you can try saying different sentences using words that can function in different ways, like hotelu, the hotel. Ruk is far, no. So this is saying the hotel is far, but you can replace ruk with kirb, which means close. Hotelu kibno is the hotel is close. And then you can go on with all these different words. And like always, you can use English to Amharic to try and help get some clarifications on things. So if you want to say the hotel is close, hotelu kirno, and then you'll help you understand like, oh, kirb is close, hotelu kirno. Then there's the questions and answers where you can try reading the question and then answering with a appropriate response. And that is where Unit 2 ends, and I'll see you guys for Unit 3.